For 31 years, the official record said the 1993 NFL Combine produced no prospect worth noting beyond the published list. But the league made sure you'd never learn that a man with no verifiable background ran a 4.1740 in front of 32 scouts and was removed from every document they ever filed. That's what they logged. That isn't what happened. Someone needed that name gone. Here's what the records were rewritten to hide. His name appears on no roster, no college film, no agent, no photograph on file. Two scouts interviewed separately 20 years apart used the same word to describe what they saw. Impossible. That is not a word scouts use casually. These are people who trade in fractions, hundredths of seconds, quarter inches of wingspan, the difference between a fourth-round pick and a guaranteed contract. When two of them reach for the same word without comparing notes, that is not sentiment. That is a signal. The 1993 class was supposed to be thin. Scouts arrived in Indianapolis hungry for anything real. So when an unregistered prospect showed up at the RCA Dome on day 2 with a name on a sheet and cleats on his feet, nobody turned him away. He stepped to the line and ran. They made him run again. The 40-yard dash has been the standard of football evaluation since the 1970s. The league average for a receiver in 1993 was 4.48. This prospect ran 4.17. 3 scouts, 3 stopwatches, no time to coordinate. Each man looked at his watch, looked at the track, looked at his watch again. A 22-year Steelers veteran wrote 4.17 in his notebook, circled it twice, and said nothing for the rest of the day. The bench press record at that combine was 42 reps at 225 pounds. This prospect hit 43. His route running showed cuts that do not exist at that speed. That combination of quickness and straight-line velocity had never appeared in a single athlete at that event, until that afternoon. But that's not the part they buried. By day 3, the paperwork didn't hold. His registration listed a Georgia school with no active football program that year. His physical clearance bore the signature of a physician who had retired in 1989. Staff flagged it. Protocol said hold him, verify, release. Instead, the flag disappeared from the official log. Someone above staff level made a call. That call was silence. You might think that's a clerical failure. Records get lost. Systems break. But in 1997, a journalist was building a piece on combine anomalies, verified times that never made print, numbers that lived in notebooks and nowhere else. He found 4 scouts independently, none of whom knew the others were talking. All 4 described the same prospect, same combine, same numbers. He submitted the piece. The magazine killed it. The editor said sourcing was insufficient. The journalist was told directly not to pursue it further. 4 independent witnesses is not insufficient sourcing. That is a story. The reason it died is the same reason the paperwork died. Here's what they were actually covering up. In 1992, a year before that combine, 3 NFL franchises were under quiet league investigation for pre-draft tampering, making contact with amateur players outside the legal evaluation window. Contact that, if confirmed on the record, would have voided draft picks and threatened franchise valuations in the hundreds of millions. A prospect showing up at that combine with those numbers would have forced an obvious question. Who had already seen him? Who had timed him in private? Who had already made promises? He was the loose thread. Pull him into the record and the investigation unravels into something much larger, so they cut the thread at the source. No documentation, no name, no record, no thread to pull. The 3 franchises under investigation were never formally charged. Their picks stood. Their valuations held. And the fastest prospect in the history of that combine was quietly reclassified as an administrative discrepancy. Think about what that cost. There is a man who ran a 4.1740 in front of 32 professional scouts and never played a professional down. Not because he wasn't ready. Because 3 organizations needed a cover story and he was the easiest piece to remove. The scouts who witnessed it retired. The journalist moved on to other work. The league's investigation file was sealed and destroyed under the standard 10-year retention policy in 2003. No copy, no override, no appeal, 31 years of clean air over an erased career. 4 scouts still remember his name. None of them will say it on the record. The question is not whether this happened. The question is whether he knows what was done to him, and whether after 31 years anyone ever told him what number they wrote in their notebooks and then made decisions.